I think there ought to be some form of health insurance for every individual.
This is not the way to do it. I think it's being pushed way too fast.
Public support for health care reform may be eroding, and tonight we're hearing why. Republicans held a town hall in Vista, and it gave opponents an opportunity to show where they stand. Good evening. The president is pushing for reform, and tonight critics are pushing back.
The meeting is open to everyone. News 8's Richard Allen is live in Vista with both sides. Richard?
Well, Carlo and Barbara Lee, those voices on both sides of this debate could be heard loud and clear tonight. Now, new poll numbers suggest that public support for President Obama's health care reform plan is slowly eroding. 48% of Americans supporting the plan, but 51% opposing it. And a lot of those opposition voices could be heard at tonight's town hall. Signs of the time as the healthcare reform debate comes to the North County.
I think it's the #1 issue.
More than 3,000 concerned residents, only about half of whom got a seat inside, packed Rancho Buena Vista High's gymnasium for Republican Congressman Darrell Issa's town hall on health reform. The vast majority of Wednesday evening's audience vocally backed Issa's position to trash President Obama's health care reform plan.
That's one of the reasons that I believe that the answer is probably in mending the existing system, driving down the cost of health care.
For Sean Holloway, who suffers from epilepsy, some form of reform is a pressing priority for himself and others with pre-existing health conditions.
If I lost my insurance, I could go anywhere and get insurance, and that they can't raise the rates on somebody like me.
The Obama administration has said more than 40 million Americans currently lack health insurance and is backing the idea of a government-run health insurance option.
Without a public option, how can you be sure that everyone will be insured?
But opponents of the president's plan say they don't want their government controlling their health care, a system they say smacks of socialism, including this retired government employee.
In those 25 years, the government legislatures have come up with a lot of good programs and have managed to mess every one of them up.
And the public input received at town halls like this one will be taken back to Washington, D.C. as congressional leaders return to work next week. President Obama also delivering his message, delivering a special joint session of Congress, or addressing a joint session of Congress next Wednesday. His topic, of course, health care reform. Barbara Lee?
Richard, thanks. A local chapter of National Nonprofit Group is calling for health care reform. Members of Move On held a rally on Mount Soledad. They shared stories of insurance companies denying their claims and the tragic consequences for their loved ones. They also talked about paying more for medicines in the U.S. compared to Canada, Mexico, or European countries. Move On says a public health care option will lower costs and